My name is Tony Taylor, and this is all about me, motivation, innovation, inspiration. Now, I know this might be your first time checking this out, so I just want to give you a little heads up that normally these videos are all about, like I said, motivation, innovation, inspiration. So these messages are Christ-centered messages with that theme of motivation, innovation, inspiration. It comes from the Bible verse John 14:6, which is Jesus replied saying, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through me." So my motivation is from His way, my innovation is from His truth, and my inspiration is from His life. So normally, these videos are all about that. Now, if you're my regular viewer, you know exactly how it works. But if you're a new viewer, I just wanted to give you a heads up of what these are. But this video is actually different than any of my other videos in the past. See, this video is special because this video is a book review. Now, my regular viewers are probably asking themselves the question, Tony, you read? Haha, good joke. But no, seriously, it's a book review, but here's the other crazy thing about it. It wasn't necessarily my decision to do the book review on camera anyway. I would have loved just to read it and say, yeah, it was great, to friends and recommend it to others, but when the author wants and expects to see a video review, it's a whole nother story. So with that, I want to give you guys a book review of The Pursuit. 14 days and 14 ways, I said it backwards, sorry TC. 14 ways and 14 days to passionately seek God's purpose for your life. It's a 14-day devotional by T.C. Stallings. Now, again, if you're a regular viewer of mine, you know that I had taken a break from videos for a while. I just want to give you guys a backstory of how this book review came about. If you're a regular viewer of mine, I do try to do monthly messages, and I was in a transitional period. My wife and I were moving into a new house, and I didn't get time or access to my camera to film other videos and during that period. So finally last December I finally decided, okay, I'm just gonna do it on my cell phone and do a front-facing camera. So if you look back at my last two videos, that's what those were shot on. Now, the fun thing about those videos is I announced, again, the new house. I announced that my wife and I are expecting our first daughter. She's not here yet. She's due next Thursday. So by the next video, I might have some announcement, and maybe the baby will make her debut. I don't know. But also in that video, I just gave a shout out to certain individuals that have inspired me over those last few months in the transitional period, and just in general, like on a day-to-day basis. I said, I guess you could call them Christian celebrities, because I mentioned a comedian named Michael Jr. I mentioned T.C. Stallings, as like I said, I'm reading doing his review for this book. I mentioned Jefferson Bethke. I named a few, some pastors and that sort of thing. But I did that in the video, and this is where God just showed up in a big way via social media. So when I post these videos online, I do my personal Facebook page, I do it my Twitter and YouTube. So when I did it on Twitter, I just thought, you know, what could hurt to mention the names, like their Twitter handles, in the link. You know, mention Jefferson Bethke, mention Michael Jr., mention T.C. Stallings, you know, that kind of thing. You only get 140 characters. So it's really hard to mention everybody because some of their names are pretty long. But to my surprise, knowing how Twitter works and knowing how busy actors are, I assume that, you know, they get 1,000 at minimum tweets a day. So I just, you know, I never think anything of it when I mention people, just so it's like, here, this is the people that are involved or mentioned in this video. And I'm a youth group leader at my church, so I remember going to youth group that night, and we get email reminders to take our attendance. So I thought when I felt my phone go off, it was my reminder to, you know, make sure I do attendance with make sure my guys are there and stuff like that. And lo and behold, it was a tweet that I had received from T.C. Stallings, again, the author of this book. And it's not like he liked it and just, you know, liked it and I got a notification that said T.C. Stallings liked your tweet. He commented and replied back to my video and just gave me a very humbling comment about my video and congratulated me on my daughter being, you know, expecting my first daughter. And then the next video I did one on the reveal of my daughter's name, and I tied into a message of how important names are, and how Jesus is the name above all names, and all the different names we know him as wonderful counselor, friend, and all those different things. And he commented on that one. And I was just getting blown away by him taking the time out to reply to, a tweet that's from somebody in Minnesota, and he's out in LA, or he was maybe been on set somewhere else. I don't know. But either way, just for him to take the time out to reply is humbling and amazing how social media can be used for good. But then I knew that this was, again, before Christmas, so I knew War Room, the movie that I saw him in, was coming out, and he had announced that he had a devotional coming out. And again, it was this book, The Pursuit. And I just remember tweeting him again and saying, hey, I'm going to, check out War Room over, I had seen it in theaters, and I said I was going to get it on Blu-ray, and then I was going to get his devotional. And then he replied again and said, well, I expect a video review. And I was just floored. Again, as a humble 29-year-old kid that just likes to spread the good news via YouTube, with family, with friends, with anybody that catches it on social media, I don't think any of the celebrities I ever mention in my videos would catch wind of it and want a video review of their book. So, TC, I want to give you a super, it's a new word, super special shout out to you, and thanks for giving me a reason to do this book review. So let's not delay anymore. Let's talk about the 14 ways in 14 days. But first, I guess I should probably give you a background on TC, so you kind of, for those of you that aren't familiar with him or don't follow him or haven't seen War Room or anything like that, I'll read the back of his book so you can know who T.C. Stallings is. It says, T.C. Stallings is a former professional athlete who is now a professional actor and speaker. After stunning football campaigns in both high school and college, T.C. went on to play professionally in the Arena, Europe, and Canadian leagues. Following his success in athletics, T.C.'s desire shifted to a career in film and television. T.C. auditioned and immediately landed a spot on King of the Jungle. He then landed the role of T.J. in the hit movie Courageous, which was his major motion picture debut. He has appeared in 3 other films, including a lead role as Tony Jordan in War Room, and he also added modeling to his resume. T.C. travels the country as a speaker and Christian minister and has been licensed in ministry since 2003. He is married to the beautiful Lavette Stallings. They have 2 children and make their home in Los Angeles, California. Now, I know that sounds like all that stuff is great and wonderful, but what you find out when you dive into this devotional, that with his story, it's not like he just excelled so great in football and said, now I'm going to do film, and just went right out to Hollywood, no questions asked, and pursued that career and knocked him out of the park. No, what TC illustrates in his story, in this before he starts into the 14-day devotionals, he talks about how it weighed on him and all the pros and cons he weighed in the idea of pursuing film and going out to Los Angeles. His one major pro of it was that he could be the example. He could honor God with his acting work and be one of the few actors out there in Hollywood that are clean, not taking any of the risque roles or the roles that have swearing or the roles that have all the gratuitous sexual overtone and all those things. So for him to want to do that, that was his one reason why he wanted to do it. And just a sidebar, another thing about me, again, for my frequent viewers already know this, but to you new viewers, I too had a desire to go out to Los Angeles and pursue acting, which I did. There's more of the story in video that if you look back on some of my old videos called Lost and Found. I tell kind of the story of when I went out there and what I did and why it didn't work out. But the crazy thing is, I kind of had the same mindset as TC did in a sense. I felt like I could maybe change the perspective of what an actor is or what Hollywood is represented by. But the problem I had was I was an actor first and a Christian second. It should be a Christian first and an actor second. So I went out there with the mentality of, maybe, it was an if-then statement. It was as if I said, if I start doing well in this industry and if I start getting good roles or if I get nominated for something, and then regardless if I win or lose, or if I do win something, I can give God glory and actually mean it. I could actually say, I thank God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ at an award show and mean it. Because I know a lot of celebrities say it, but that personal relationship may not be there. That's a big difference in thanking God for the opportunity and having that personal relationship with Him. That's the most important thing. So now I don't want this to turn into all about me, but TC, you're watching this. I know you are. So what do you say? TC and TT, you know the Kendrick brothers. Let's work together. Let's make it happen. Let's have War Room 2. Me, you, Michael Jr. Let's all get together. What do you say? No? Well, I tried. Because I'm right with God. Now I'm right there with you. But I tried, didn't I? Anyway, back to his book. I don't want to go through all 14 ways in the 14 days because that'd be even a longer video, and I don't want to spoil the whole book for you guys. But TC challenges me so much. I've read a lot of devotionals. I've read devotionals that are 365 days. A whole year of devotionals. But this one, in 14 days, really, really ignited my fire and really made me furtherly want to pursue, which makes only sense with what the challenge of the book is, to pursue God's purpose for my life. So I am super, super grateful for this book. It has reignited my desire to be involved in family ministries. I'm a teacher for 4th and 5th grade students at my church, and again, I'm a youth group leader for 6th graders. So because I know from 4th grade to my senior year through even into college age, that I was definitely talking the talk about having faith. I could talk about I went to church or I had a faith or I believed in God, but I wasn't walking my talk. And TC is a living proof of walking the talk. One of the people that talk about him in this book actually say he walks the talk, and I felt like that was a really cool way of looking at it. And TC paints a beautiful picture here. It's not even in the first day. He talks about how God has predestined us and already knows all of our days. He sits back and watches us as we pursue Him and pursue His plan for our lives. And it's our choice to do. So it's really cool to see him paint this picture of this orange seed. He talks about this orange seed so badly wanting to be a pineapple. Now I know that sounds weird, but his illustration is perfect. It's that idea of that we were put here for a reason. Our purpose, God has made a purpose for us. It's up to us to ask Him what our purpose is and pursue it with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our mind. That's how we're supposed to love God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind, and all your strength, right? So he talks about this orange seed wanting to become a pineapple. So he talks about the orange seed does everything that the pineapple does. It goes to Hawaii because that's where all pineapples grow. And all this stuff, and talks about this orange seed trying to do everything that a pineapple does. And then when it grows up, what's it become? An orange. Because that's what its purpose is, to be an orange, to be a delicious fruit, to be the best juice in the world. Sorry, I'm biased to orange juice. It was that, and again, that was so convicting to me because that was me. I was the orange wanting to be a pineapple. I wanted to be an actor, so I said, I'm going to go to LA or I'm going to go to New York. And I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance, so I didn't go to New York. And again, I live in Minnesota. I didn't want to deal with the same weather that I deal with in Minnesota, so I said, I'm going to go to LA. I got the headshots. I went to the workshops. I did all the things that actors are supposed to do. I networked. I name-dropped celebrities that I bumped into in Los Angeles. But the fact of the matter is, God had bigger things for me that had nothing to do with acting. To some degree, when I came back to Minnesota, again, if you watch my Lost and Found video, you kind of hear more of that story. And now I'm a speaker. Now I'm doing these videos. I'm teaching 4th and 5th graders. I'm leading 6th graders. It's just, I'm in a completely different spot, but I can be myself. I can be animated as I was in front of the camera. I can have fun with it. It's truly just amazing that was God's purpose all along. And here I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to be an actor because everybody else says I'm entertaining, that I'd be good on TV, that I'd be good on camera, all these things. But it wasn't what God was speaking to me, clearly, at the time. And he talks about, one of the things he also challenges you to do is pray about it. Never stop praying. And again, I didn't pray. I did. If in case of emergency, I broke the glass and prayed. But for me to ultimately pray and say, God, if this is your will for me to be an actor in Los Angeles, I'll do it. But if not, then I want your will to be done, not mine. I didn't do that. I just went on and said, you know what, I'm going to do all I can to succeed. And then when it didn't work, I felt like when I came back, everybody was going to think I was a quitter. But ideally, the only person that I should have been trying to impress is God. I'm not trying to, I was a people pleaser. That was part of my problem too then. But and the most convicting one was the last day. So I said the first day and I said the last day in this. And he says, I'll read the verse to you. It's James 4:13 through 17. And it says, look here, you who say today or tomorrow we are going to a certain town and you will stay there for a year. We will do business there and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here for a little while, then it's gone. What you ought to say, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this or that. Otherwise, you are boasting about your own pretentious plans, and all such boasting is evil. Remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. Ouch. That hurt me so much, TC. Getting to the end of this, and I just, as if I wasn't convicted enough through the first 13 days, but to read that and just know that it's His will. Like, I can't just say, tomorrow I'm going to do this, when tomorrow's not for me to touch. Tomorrow's in God's hands. I have to worry about today, for today has trouble of its own. It's another verse in the book of Matthew. But I was just truly think this is, for anyone out there that is aware of their God's purpose for their life or still trying to discover it, this devotional will ignite that, maybe change your mindset to what it should be, depending on if, like I said, if it's not following in God's plan, if it's not honoring God. I mean, I think it's amazing that TC can be an actor, because I think sometimes people get mixed up that, you know, if I'm going to honor God, I have to be a pastor or I have to be a preacher or something like that. You have to be working in the church. Granted, I desire that, but I know in whatever work that God puts in front of me, that puts in my life, I can honor Him with that. Because there's another verse that talks about working for the Lord and not for men. Because we want our work to glorify Him in all that we do. I have I'm kind of wearing this shirt, I don't know if you can see it. It says Hoops in Christ. I have this friend Chauncey, who's a youth minister and a basketball player and coach. And what he does, he's came up with this idea of Hoops in Christ. And he goes out and he runs these clinics, but not only is he teaching these kids fundamentals of basketball, he's also leading them into a relationship with Christ. That is just awesome. Again, I am just so humbled by, to be friends with him and just to see him further the kingdom, but in a way that not people would necessarily associate with. Basketball doesn't always, you wouldn't think that's a way that he's going to further the kingdom, but he is. And it's awesome. I just love seeing the life transformation he's having with these athletes and with his youth. It's just super, super cool to watch. But seriously, get this book. You can get it at Lifeway Christian stores. You can get it online. You can get it on Amazon. You might be able to find it at Barnes & Noble. I'm not sure. You can find it on T.C. Stallings' website. And by the way, TC, sidebar, I know I threw out the challenge of talk to the Kendrick brothers, get me in the next movie with you and Michael Jr. and the rest of the crew. I actually have talked to my middle school teaching pastor. I don't know if she's reached out to you yet. Maybe she has, or your team for your speaking role, for your speaking stuff, speaking engagements. That's the word I was looking for. But I told her I want you to speak at our youth summer event that we have. And I don't know if she's reached out to you again yet, but if she has, awesome. And if you're available, even cooler, because I would love to meet you and kind of put this social media conversation and bring it to life. But if not, I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I don't meet you on this side of heaven, I sure will in heaven one day. So I just thank you for these words. I want to read to you guys this whole book and just pour out all that TC's done. But I want you guys to read it for yourselves and really find out just the heart of this. He's got such a large heart for you to want to find find your purpose in God's plan for you. It's not our plans that work out. Our plans, if we think our plans are gonna, they never do. God's plan is greater than any plan because He's already knows what tomorrow holds, and we don't. So trust that. And pick up this book. I think it's $12.99. You can afford it. Think of how many Caribous you just had, or Starbucks. Well, that's for my coffee drinkers, maybe. But yeah, when you're at the bookstore, pick it up, get a coffee, read it. It's a quick read. It's only 43 pages. Now, my pursuit is continuing, and your pursuit can just get started. Take a look at it, read it, enjoy it. That's all for me now. Next month, or next video, we'll be back to more motivation, innovation, inspiration of messages. I don't know the theme yet, but I know for sure that the pursuit of my purpose and God's purpose for my life are just the same now. So I'm very thankful for this book, thankful for T.C. Stallings, thankful for all of you viewers, and thankful for God, above all else, for blessing me with this purpose to further the kingdom to His glory and not mine. Thanks, guys, for checking it out. We'll talk to you soon.